What is up, guys? We're gonna take a quick look at the carbon IC barrel. So typically I'm not one to talk a lot about barrels or make a lot of barrel videos, as I find there's not typically a huge difference between barrels. I think that they all kind of shoot similar. It's gonna mainly depend on what paintballs you're using. But the carbon IC barrel has done some interesting things, and we're gonna take a quick look. So what I'm finding most interesting about these carbon barrels is gonna be that barrel back. And it is using injected carbon fiber, hence the name IC barrel. And I don't think anyone else is using this. We have seen materials that kind of represent that IC barrel or that injected carbon, like the GRN stuff that you're finding on like the new Planet Eclipse guns, or Proto have used it. The glass reinforced nylon has that kind of similar texture, but is definitely different than the injected carbon stuff. So the carbon IC barrel is a two-piece Freak XL barrel. So as you can see, normal two-piece barrel really unscrews. We have tip, insert, tips rolling away, and back. And they do come with that 687 insert. It is an 87. Typically these come in red, but Carbon have custom anodized it for the IC barrel. Only weighs 97 grams. So for reference, the Planet Eclipse FL barrel is 112 grams. Barrels are rolling away. And it is noticeably lighter. I should say the IC barrel is noticeably lighter. Does have that Autococker quick thread, so it is Autococker threaded, and does have that quicker thread, so it just makes it, threading out of the gun a little bit easier. Does have that cool channel cutout to make it a little bit lighter. So first let's explain what carbon fiber is and how it differs in the IC barrel. So normal carbon fiber barrels, say like the Planet Eclipse FL barrel, are made with sheets of carbon fiber. Those sheets are first made with very small pieces of carbon that can be up to 10 times smaller than the human hair. All of those little pieces of carbon are put together to form longer chains of carbon, and then those are made into yarn. Those pieces of yarn are then woven to create a sheet of carbon fiber, and then that sheet is molded into whatever shape is needed, kind of like a tube for that barrel. When that sheet is all laid up and in place, resin is then applied to the outside or inside layers to make it stronger and stiffen up that sheet. There's actually a lot of really interesting carbon fiber manufacturing videos and how-to videos. I'm gonna put that in the description. The real issue with carbon fiber though is that it can be kind of weak. So it's extremely strong when you apply pressure or force across the fibers, so the length of that sheet. But when you try to do it the other way, this stuff is pretty brittle and can crack really easy, just like in this video. So the goal is to make it harder, so weaving those fibers over and under each other, creating that mat or that sheet makes them stronger, and then now two different directions. There's a lot of different patterns, like these Planet Eclipse barrels have a 2x2 pattern, making it a little stronger and then also a little bit easier to work with. Having that 2x2 pattern makes that fabric a little bit looser and easier to move around. When you do that 1x1 pattern, it might be a little bit stronger in certain directions, but it's so tightly woven, moving the fabric or that sheet of carbon fiber when it's, flexible, when it's not resined up, it's just a little bit harder than it is when the 2x2s. So it's a little bit more common in this 2x2 configuration. So because that carbon fiber does come in sheets, it makes it a little bit harder to make some parts. That's typically why we see carbon fiber kind of in bigger, swooping parts. So think I don't know, car parts or paintball stuff, right? Like the FL barrels, or really any paintball barrels that are made of carbon fiber, they're really just tubes. So they're pretty basic. We're not really seeing any very intricate work with this carbon fiber, or it's not turning a perfect 90-degree angle. They're swoopy or more organic shapes. So to give that IC barrel those more complicated, sharper lines, injected carbon fiber is used. So injected carbon fiber is still using, let's put that right there, still using those very small, those smaller than human hair pieces of carbon, except they're not all bonded, chained together to make those carbon fiber yarn pieces. They're just thrown in with the epoxy. So now we have that epoxy and those little pieces of carbon together. That mix is then injected into a mold, and then we have injected carbon fiber back. So the IC barrel is still gonna be very strong, but not nearly as strong as the just regular woven carbon fiber. Because those fibers are kind of shaped in or pointing in every single direction, it is gonna be stronger in more directions than the regular carbon fiber would. But depending on that layup or the pattern of that woven stuff, it can still be stronger in specific directions. So one problem that carbon fiber barrels have is the paintball is touching the barrel every time. Well, really every single barrel you ever shot is gonna have that paintball rub on the inside of the barrel. And then that rubbing over and over on these carbon fiber barrels reduces the amount of epoxy holding the barrel together. And then you get rid of some of that epoxy, and then the barrel can actually like start coming unraveled. It's definitely a problem we've seen with the Empire Super Freak barrel back in the day. So that's kind of one of the reasons Carbon went with that injected carbon fiber, to try to just make it stronger, make it hold up a little bit better than it would the regular woven carbon fiber, as they still wanted to make the barrel as light as possible. So they're able to use that injected carbon, still make the barrel very light, but also make it a bit quieter. One of the things that I found with these carbon fiber barrels, like the FL barrel or the Deadly Wind barrels, is they tend to be a little bit louder. That sound wave can just travel through that carbon fiber much easier than it can aluminum. So having the aluminum tip like we are seeing on the IC barrel makes it a little bit quieter than the traditional carbon fiber barrels. So overall, I like these things. It's very light, and I like the insert style barrels because they're really just a good deal. I think that any good barrel with correctly matched paint and insert is gonna really produce the best accuracy. So it doesn't have to be a specific, I don't know, Deadly Wind barrel or the Carbon IC barrel or whatever barrel takes inserts. I think getting an insert barrel provides the best value, and then you can get that paint to barrel match perfect. They're 125 bucks. I don't think I said that in the beginning. Yeah. So if you like this video, I feel like I didn't even talk about the barrel much. This was more why it's made out of injected carbon over just normal woven carbon fiber. If you found this video useful or you hated it, leave a comment below.